Hello, everyone. Welcome to the South Central Baptist Area Leadership Podcast. My name is Matt Singleton, and I am the Director of Missions for the SCBA, which is a partnership between the Gambrel and Gonzales Baptist Associations. It's 50-plus churches spanning 10 counties here in South Texas. We're so glad you decided to listen in, and hopefully we can learn together. Hello, everyone. On this third episode of our Ministry Minute for the SCBA Leadership Podcast, I want to talk to you about having fun as a minister. Somewhere along the way in pastoral ministry, it stopped being as much fun as it once was. There is a lot of things that you have to deal with. They can be really heavy. You can go from giving, emergency, counseling to someone who's suicidal, or dealing with a couple that's in a marital crisis, to going to the bedside of someone who's dying, and doing funerals, doing weddings, doing being in stressful committee meetings, dealing with people who are not happy with you because of a number of things or something you said in your sermon last week. And if you have a staff, sometimes there's tensions within the staff you got to deal with. And along the way, you just kind of get worn out. And you add to that just the normal grind of, if you're a preacher, if you're a pastor who preaches, you have to add to that the normal or the week-to-week grind of preparing a sermon. It's like, this is how I've explained it. You're writing a term paper every week. Like if you just printed out all the notes I wrote for just the sermon, for me, often it's somewhere between 8 and 12 pages, single space. Every week I would be writing, researching, reading, praying, thinking. It's a lot that goes into it. And then you've got to deliver that sermon. And so you've got like a written exam. And on top of that, you've got an oral exam in front of your family and friends. And they're definitely going to judge it and talk about it over lunch. And then they're probably going to forget about it come Monday morning. That's just the nature of preaching as a pastor. And that's just one aspect, a very significant aspect, but one aspect of what you do. So you add all that up together, and you can find yourself in a place where you're just not having a lot of fun in ministry, maybe like you once were. And there's so much that could be said about that. But I just want to say one thing. You need to have some fun. And yes, there are going to be moments in ministry that are fun. Praise the Lord. You get a lot of joy out of that. There's a lot of excitement in that, and that's great. But what I'm talking about is having fun outside of your ministry context with friends. And this is something that I'm trying to build within our associations, are those opportunities to just enjoy being together without the pressure of ministry. We're not trying to impress each other. This is the beauty of ministers getting together. And just so, we do that with our ILF groups, but I wouldn't necessarily categorize those as typically being fun opportunities. They're learning opportunities. They're opportunities to grow. We're praying for each other. But there's often a lot of laughter as well. But I mean, just sometimes where the whole goal of being together is just to have a good time, just to have that break from ministry, be with people who know what it's like to be in ministry, and just enjoy one another. So here's an example. We have taken a group of pastors and we've gone to a gun range. Went out to eat, went to a gun range, and had a great time. I've had guys over to the house. We just sit in the hot tub and hang out. This is a bit of learning as well, but when we've gone to like this last conference we went to, we took 10 other ministers, most of which are in the SCBA, a few weren't. And we went to the conference. We got some stuff out of it, but the main thing is we had a good time together. And actually it was very educational too, because we are learning from each other. We're asking each other questions. We're sharing thoughts and ideas. But the main objective is to have fun. And within that fun, we are learning together. So that's really cool. And I just think that's really necessary. Now, that might not be something that you need out of the association, right? You may get that already from friends around you or family around you, and that's great. But I have found that having a group of pastors near me and doing fun things with them is a great outlet for me. And I've seen it be a huge outlet for them. And so as you see these opportunities, yes, you've got so much to do. You've got more to do than you really should be doing most of the time. That's how most ministers are. You've got to carve this out. You've got to be intentional about saying, I'm going to put some stuff on the calendar that I'm really looking forward to doing, that's going to be a lot of fun, that I'm going to really enjoy. And it just kind of recharges your batteries because there's so many things you're doing that slowly drain your battery. You need to have some things on your calendar that really charge your battery. And maybe all this is not for you introverts. Just getting alone, sitting beside a river, or going for a walk by yourself, reading a book, sitting on the couch and just looking out the window. Those things are fun to you. And that's totally fine. Like, you just got to know what that is and get it on the calendar. That's the main thing. I really want to emphasize that. Schedule it. You've got to schedule. I know fun and schedule don't seem like they go together, but just the nature of things, the nature of ministry, which feels all consuming. And for those who are married, which are most, and those who have kids in the home, which are many, add those two things together and you can fill up every day, all day with things that, yes, there is a level of joy. I don't mean to say that there's not joy in those things, but just to have some fun with peers. To develop friendships as an adult, I have found is particularly difficult. It is not an easy thing to do. And as a pastor, there was always this limit to what I felt like I could do in the way of friendship with people in the church. And so to have friends outside of the church that I can enjoy and share life with and enjoy some fun activities together has been so life-giving to me. So I encourage you, look at your calendar. Do you have some time scheduled just for that? If not, put it on the calendar. Make it happen. You've been listening to the SCBA Leadership Podcast. To learn more about what's going on in the South Central Baptist area, visit our website, southcentralarea.net, and like and follow our Facebook page, facebook.com/South Central Baptist. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So brothers and sisters serving in the local church, my encouragement to you today is to embrace these words of Paul and do not give up. Rather, as Romans 12:11 says, keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Thanks again for tuning in, and may God bless you today.